looking for a car just to get you to point A and point B, and you really don't care about driving and you just care about it not costing you money and you just worry about the reliability, I have a 2011 Toyota Corolla, and today we're going to be taking a look at the overall view of this car. Now, as you can imagine, the suspension in this Corolla it's fine. It softens every damp and every imperfection on the road. Like, we're on the back road right now, and I mean, it's fine. It works. I mean, it's a Corolla. You're not going to experience a lot of bouncing and pouncing in this car. It's so laid back. It's so comfortable to drive in here. That's why a lot of people buy these things, because they're very comfortable. I don't have to worry about any of the bouncing or pouncing when I'm coming off of work. I mean, it's not a sports car or anything, so you'll drive fine. Coming into a curve and stuff like that, the handling's fine. It's a Corolla. There will be some body roll, but it's not that exaggerated. It's not like an SUV type deal. Obviously, if you're going to carry more people in here, you're going to feel it more. The brakes, they're fine. It's a Corolla. You're not going to experience a lot of mushiness in the braking system. If you do experience something like that, then you have to check something, which is, normally an old car thing. But in this, it's fine. The acceleration isn't the best in this Corolla, because you don't buy a Corolla for the acceleration. You just don't do that. You buy a Corolla because it works. I mean, it'll get up and go, but why would you force this little 1.8 liter inline four? It doesn't really do much. Now, as far as wind noise, you will hear a lot of things in this car. You'll hear the road, you'll hear the acceleration from the engine, you'll hear the wind noise. It's not the quietest thing, but it's nothing that turning up the radio will fix. But you will still hear a lot of wind noise, which is normal. I mean, this is an older car. No car is perfect. The visibility is the nice thing about this Corolla. I can see a lot of things in the front. I can see the road in front of me. I can see the road here in the side. It's a good visibility standpoint of view in here. It's a good, pleasant drive. I don't have any issues looking through here or having any issues of looking at all. This is a good drive. I do like driving this Corolla. It's not the funnest thing in the world, but if you're just looking for a car to drive to get to point A and point B, this will do it. It's not the fastest. The brakes are good. It's got some wind noise. I mean, it's just a work car, really. It's a daily cruiser commuter. If that's what you're looking for, well, this is it. And mind you, it's still mounted to a 4-speed automatic transmission. It's an old transmission. It's in here. It could be updated, but they decided to go for a 4-speed automatic. But it's not problematic. I don't have an issue with it. I mean, if it works, it works. I'd rather have this than a CVT. This is the 10th generation Toyota Corolla that came out in 2007 and finalized in 2013. If this is the style you're looking out for, well, this is the generation of you which you're gonna look for. The look on this car is very simple and plain. There isn't much to talk about this car. I mean, the design just works. It's a car that is plain, a car that is just meant for you to take from point A to point B, and there's nothing much to it, really. It's just functional. It does have some cool parts like chrome pieces here in the rear part of the car, and the looks in the front, well, it just works. It looks like it has a little wing there on the grille that's sticking out, but other than that, it's a really plain car. It's not a car that really calls attention, but it still works. Hey, if someone were to give me this car, or if I needed a car, this would be the one to buy, because not only is it reliable, it looks okay, but it works. It's a car. That's all that matters at the end, that it's a car. It works. And that's what most of the people are looking for anyway, something that's not going to break down and doesn't look too terrible, because it's not an ugly car. By all means, it's not ugly, but it could be a lot better. Now, the category that this Toyota falls in is of a compact car. And I still have plenty of space to feel comfortable in here. I'm not the smallest guy, but I'm not the biggest one either. And, well, I'm comfortable. I mean, you can be comfortable in this cabin. The seats are that of a cloth seats. They're not leather seats. And right now, the owner has a protector on it. Can't really show you the seats, but they're comfy. I'll tell you that. It has a lot of lumbar support, which I like. So that way, if you're going on a long road trip or something, well, you'll be able to at least feel comfortable in a long road trip in here. The seats are mechanical. They're not electrical. We don't have electrical seating in this car. Surprise, surprise. Being an economical car, I'm not, don't be surprised. And of course, we have hard plastic interior. I mean, that's just how it is being an economical car, but thankfully it doesn't feel like it's a cheap plastic that'll break anytime soon. I hope not, but as time goes on, these things tend to break and crack over time. The only thing I don't like is that here in the center part is made out of plastic. They should at least put some foam or something at least to give you some sort of protection, but hey, it's hard plastic, so I guess you can't ask for too much. At least here on the door panel, it's made out of foam. You have a little bit of foam resting here for your elbow. But the rest, it's still plastic. We still have our little commodities, like, for example, power windows, power locks. It's very practical. We still have plenty of storage spacing in here. We have the center console, which I mean, it could have been a little bit bigger, but I guess that's asking too much. It's small, I'll just say that. It's tiny. You can only put like your little wallet or keys or whatever you want to put in here. It's very simple and plain. There's nothing much more I can show you in there. The cool thing that I do like is that we have this 2 glove box compartment that we have here. We have this first little compartment up here in the front that you can put little things there, maybe your registration. I don't know what you want to put in there, small thing. And looking down here, we have the traditional glove box, which is plenty of space, really. This is a lot of space compared to other cars that I've seen. We still have storage compartments on next to these doors. We can put water bottles, little things, you know, simple things you can put in there, nothing too crazy. And we also have this little tiny storage compartment here where we have our 12-volt DC charger. Now looking here at the center infotainment center, we have our lovely, humble little CD player with a radio, you know, FM, AM radio. Some of these also have an aux cord and some came with a USB port, but at least it came with an aux cord. And then underneath that CD player, we have our little tiny gauges, or knobs, I should say, for our climate control. And then right underneath that, oddly enough, we have our little clock, which is down here. Normally in older Toyotas, they all had them up here on top of the vent, but they put them down here. I guess because they don't want you looking at the road while you're looking at the time, but I guess they figured you'd be looking at your phone in that era. Looking at the steering wheel is very plain, very simple, nothing too major, nothing too crazy. It has no control. It's very, again, simple, plain. The dash is okay. I mean, it's plain again. The CE models have like the orange tone lighting. This does not. This has like the whitish, yellowish look to it. So it's preference, I guess. Up here, we just have our 2 little lights, dome lights that we have up here. Nothing too crazy. And then right here, we just have our little sliding door for our rear view mirror, or for just a mirror for ourselves. That's all we have up here for our blinds. It's a little humble interior, you know, there's nothing much in here. But this is what is good for like the older folks, or for people that just don't care. You don't want a lot of things going on in here. This is just plain and simple, and it just works. Being back here, as you can imagine, the whole theme still continues. It's still plain and simple. But what I do like is that it does have plenty of space to feel comfortable back here. If you're a tall person, I think you won't complain too much being back here. The only thing is that our cup holder is very flimsy, and you'll find that here in the center console area. If you pull this little mechanism down here, they just added that on, really, because that, you know, we need cup holders, but it's very flimsy. I don't know if I would trust it, so it offers it here. At least it gives us a cup holder. At least we have some sort of storage unit on these door panels. We have something to store in here, and we have what it appears to be like a space for your water bottles or hydro flasks or whatever you want to put in there. So we don't have that extra armrest for just the 2 passengers that sit back here, and it doesn't have a cup holder for that center part because there isn't none. There's no thing to put down. We have storage pouches in the back of these seats, which you can't see again because we have a cover. I think you'll feel comfortable in a long drive being back here, but there's nothing much to talk about back here, really. Surprisingly, you have a lot of room back here. So if you're, you know, wondering how much space this compact car has, it has plenty. You have enough space to put things back here. Conveniently, underneath the carpet area, you have enough storage room where you'll find the spare tire, the jack, the tools, the things that come with this car. You know, it works. You have space to put any other liquids in there, like your oils maybe, or whatever you want to put back there. You know, it's convenient. You have plenty of space to put anything that you need back here. Looks like you can fit 2 tires in there too, so it's plenty of room. The engine that's in here is a 1.8 liter inline 4-cylinder. Now, even though it's still mounted to a 4-speed automatic transmission, it still achieves 26 miles per gallon in the city and 34 miles per gallon highway. This engine, it can produce up to 132 horsepower and, well, 128 foot-pound of torque, which is enough and plenty to get this car to move. Again, it's not the fastest thing in the world, but it'll still get you from point A to point B. Now, the common problems with this Toyota Corolla, one is oil consumption. Over time, the piston rings inside of the engine is going to wear out and it's going to consume oil, which isn't a big thing. As long as you're checking the oil constantly, you'll be fine. It's just a normal thing old Toyotas go through. They just consume oil because that's just how old cars are. And it doesn't just affect this, it affects all the cars too. The other problem is the water leak from the water pump. You know, over time that gets old and you'll have to replace that. The way you'll tell if there's like coolant leaking around the engine or something, you'll know. So always check your coolant as well. And the other thing is the VVTi valve train. What happens is over time dust and dirt and grime gets inside of the intake and it clogs up all that system in there. So, you know, as long as you're regularly maintaining your air box, you're changing out the filters and making sure it's a-okay, you'll be fine. This is a very reliable little car, and I wouldn't have any complaints about it. If you like this video, please give us a thumbs up. Don't forget to leave a comment. What do you want to see? What else do you want to see here at Secondhand Speed? And as always, I look forward to seeing you next video.